Hello everybody, my name is Scotty. This is my channel. This is my Pikachu. Look at him. He's so fucking cute. Look at just... And that's my Nintendo Switch case. And today we're discussing something related to this adorable little shit. Game called Pokemon Let's Go. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, to be precise. It's an interesting title, and I know why it exists. I'm not a fan of the title. I think it's a bit dumb. But I digress. So, this portion of this episode will be a review for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Later on down the line, we will be discussing recent events surrounding Epic Games and the BioWare situation. Yeah. So, that's coming, but it's not coming now. It's coming later on, as in not now. So, the fun stuff happens in time slot 1. You'll notice that today, while I'm still wearing my vest and I've still got my undershirt on and I'm still at least pretending to be classy, I have a bit more of a safari look going on. Well, that's accidental. Completely. That's yeah, I didn't mean to do that at all. But it does play in very well to the review. Pokemon Let's Go has an interesting mechanic where you run around the world as if you were running around the world of Pokemon Go, so that the Pokemon appear in grass and around the world and they're flying, and if you don't bump into them, the capture screen never happens. You're not required to do random battles anymore. And that's the best goddamn thing I could have seen. Seriously. Even outside of some things I will discuss later on in this review, the lack of random battles is one of my favorite things about this game. I hated dealing with the random battles in previous games. One of the reasons I didn't play many of them was that in those games I was just wandering around and I was being punished for exploring by being forced to take part in random combat all the time. It was very boring, it was not fun for me, and I didn't like it. However, in Pokemon Let's Go, that's not a problem because it's not there at all. In Pokemon Let's Go, the random battles don't exist. In place of it is the Pokemon Go catch system, where you have to take your Joy-Con and flick it at the screen, or aim your Switch, or take your ball, your tertiary ball merchandise, and throw that at Pokemon. I think that's interesting. I liked that play very much. I thought that the simulated ball throwing, this Nintendo, was appropriate use of your Waggle tech. Don't know why it took you 12 years to get here, but good job. Yeah, thank you. Actually, a lot more than 12 years if you count the unfortunate things involved with the Game Boy and the Mask of Red Death. Yeah, let's not go there. So, I have some points here written down. The critical health sound in Let's Go is reduced considerably. You get like 4 dings total, and then it's gone. Your Pokemon is still at critical health, you're still at red, you're still about to die, but it's not in your goddamn ear all the time. Wow, I did not know how much I hated that sound. Well, I mean, I knew, I just didn't realize how much of a relief it was going to be to not have it around. Woo! Exciting shit! Okay. Point number 2. HMs, hidden machines, gone. C'est la vie. Just not there. And, that's wonderful. To anyone who's played Pokemon and had to have an HM slave rolling around just to dump all the crappy ones onto, the removal of hidden machines is wonderful. You no longer have to deal with it. It's been replaced by secret techniques. Secret techniques are awesome because they don't take battle slots. Let me say it again. They don't take battle slots at all. It's just not a thing. So the secret techniques are learned by your partner Pokemon, whether it's Eevee or Pikachu or whatever, and we'll get more into that later. But your partner Pokemon, whether it's unconscious or not, can use these techniques to get you to like cut down trees and swim and whatever. So let's see if it was cut down, C dash, so cut, swim, the fast travel fly system, flash for the caves, I'm forget push. Yeah, push, the mighty, the strength thing. That's where all of it went, is in these 5 hidden techniques that your Pokemon learns, and it doesn't take battle slots. They're not even viable for combat. You can't use them. So, no more HM slaves! No more shitty, awful cut move. No more using strength to hit things. Fuck me, that's so beautiful. I can't even begin. Oh, Waterfall is still in the game. Some of the moves that were HMs are still in the game, but they're no longer HMs. They're now TMs, and it can be taught to the appropriate Pokemon. So Gyarados can still use Waterfall. It's just no longer going to get you up a waterfall. At least in the current version of the game. So flying around with your Pokemon is involved with your riding Pokemon. You no longer get boots. You no longer get bikes. Instead, you get to ride your Pokemon. You get to get on the back of your Charizard or your Arcanine. There's like 16 different individual Pokemon that can be ridden, whether they're in the sky or on the land or in the water. And obviously, you know, Gyarados, you'd ride him in the water, not something you'd be riding on land. And there could be an argument for Gyarados being a flying type, but that... no. Anyway, semantics aside, I very much enjoyed the riding system. It takes a bit to unlock it. You have to do some catch project. It's a side quest, essentially. And then once you have it, if you have a swimming Pokemon on the... sorry, I back up. If you go into your party screen and you select a Pokemon and you say, take this Pokemon out of their Pokeball, your partner is always sitting in your head, just kind of chilling. But then one of your other party members can be taken out of their Pokeball and they'll just follow you around. But if they're a rideable Pokemon, you get on them. If they're a swimming Pokemon, this happens specifically when you walk up to the water and use C dash? The HM swim, basically. So you use the swim ability and you'll be riding on your Gyarados or whoever. If you have a flying Pokemon, though, after a certain point in the game, you will fly with your Pokemon by taking them out of the battle, by taking them out of your, by taking them out of their Pokeball, just getting onto the back of your Gyarados or whoever, and then right over town. So you no longer have to fuck with the intricacies of the individual parts of town. That said, this is really not fully realized at all. Mainly you'd use it to make travel over certain parts of the map easier by not having to deal with, like, you know, the maze of certain areas, and you gotta jump over here and then jump down here and then walk all the way around. If you have a flying type Pokemon that's strong enough, and it's specific, there's like 3 of them specifically. Three of them. I forgot where the camera was. There's 3 of them specifically, and one of them's Charizard. And if you get on the back of your Charizard, you can fly, and then fuck it, just go right over all the obstacles. It's nice. It's very, very nice. Your Pokemon are fast, so like there's no, oh, this Pokemon's kind of slow, so I don't want to ride them. No, fuck you. If you can get on that thing, it is fast. The one I got first for that was Arcanine, and that was some cool shit. That thing is huge, is very fast, and it's so much fun. Onix is one of them. Onix doesn't feel very fast, but that's because he's enormous. You're covering a lot of ground. Just go. So yeah, riding your partner Pokemon, riding your Pokemon partner in this review is going to have to refer to specifically Eevee, because that's the one I got. Oh yeah, by the way, thank you for buying that game for me. One of you folks bought that game for the channel, and I cannot thank you enough. That was awesome. This experience has been a lot of fun. I cannot promise that I will always enjoy or be super kind to games that I am purchased, that I review, because, hello, I'm a reviewer. I don't get to be nice. I get to be honest, because I have integrity versus the industry. Anyway, thank you for buying that game. It was a lot of fun to play, and I genuinely appreciate it. Even if I rip on the game, even if I didn't have fun playing a game, I will always be incredibly appreciative that somebody else spent money on me to help me do my hobby. I cannot thank you enough. Blind has bought games before that I have not reviewed. I'm going to have to fix that later. Moving on. Oh yeah. Advanced typing is retained. So, okay, so some Pokemon are fairy types. Some Pokemon retained the dragon or the steel or the whatever, the typings from the later advanced versions of the games. But, and this is a big but, you don't really get to take full advantage of it because we're in Kanto. One of the biggest things about this game is that you're in Kanto and you're not really part of the bigger world. I mean, it's there. There are some trainers who have Alolan versions of Pokemon, like, oh, I'll trade you my Alolan Rattata for your regular Rattata. And I'm like, fuck yeah! Alolan Rattata looks weird. I loved it. But, yeah. So, you don't really get to catch the advanced versions of the Pokemon. You don't get to catch them. You get to trade for them with NPCs. And if you trade Pokemon up from Pokemon Go, you can only trade the original 150. You can only bring in the original Kanto Pokemon to this game. No other ones are allowed. No Lucario, no Blaziken, no, none of it. None at all. Not allowed. Bonus, though, to all you EV trainers, you people who like to ruin the fun for the rest of us, you know who you are. Training minigames, gone. Pokemon competitions, gone. Pokeblock feeding, gone. What you have left is the ability to manually check a Pokemon's EV effort value stats. And you can see their IV stats. If I butcher these terms and phrases, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this correct. However, it must be stated that I never really gave a shit about EV/IV training in Pokemon, like, and the difference between them. I didn't care at all. What you can do, and I'm calling it IV checking, is you can catch a Pokemon and then you can check its status, and after a certain point in the game you see one of the professor's research assistants who are just scattered throughout the map. One of them gives you the ability to check your Pokemon's IV status like you would in Pokemon Go. You no longer have to contact a faction leader, though. You can just, check this thing's stats. Get out my magnifying glass. This is a Coke bottle. Get out my magnifying glass and, wow, yeah, you got some really good IV there. And that's, yeah, you can manually check it. So you get bad, okay, good, amazing, fantastic, and perfect. I think. I'm not really sure. I know there's several stages. That was what I'm trying to get at. And then that governs the Pokemon's baseline stat increase. It's a lot of fun to use. It's a bit of an ass if you are one of those, min-maxing perfect players, because finding a Pokemon with perfect stats is just about not going to happen, mate. You're going to be there for a while. It's, to this reviewer's mind, it's worse than trying to catch a shiny, and that's already a bitch to do. Thanks. Am I lopsided? Is my head lopsided? Oh my god. I'm lopsided as shit. Yeah. Things you only find out on camera, everybody. Let's see, my next point. Petting and playing with your Pokemon, with your partner Pokemon specifically. You can't play with the rest of them like you could in X and Y. You can, however, pet and feed your partner Pokemon berries and shit, and you can give it little outfits to wear. It's adorable, and oh man, I never experienced the Pikachu version of this game, but the Eevee is fucking adorable. Oh my god, it's disgusting. It's a little bit disgusting how fucking cute this creature is. And you can you use the touch screen to pet him, and he'll make little chirps and trills, and holy Jesus, that was just too goddamn cute. I'm gonna say holy Jesus because it's societally appropriate, and if I say holy Gaia, very, very few people are going to get that. So yeah, so petting and playing with your Pokemon, it's emotionally rewarding, and I did not expect that. I just didn't. Along with that comes the friendship override. Pokemon you spend a lot of time with, and Pokemon you spend a lot of time avoiding fainting. If you avoid fainting with a Pokemon long enough, and you just keep battling with it, and you build that connection, they will eventually gain a relationship of trust and friendship with you, and they can use that relationship for friendship override, what I'm going to call it. I don't know what the fuck it's called in the game, but I call it friendship override because what it does is, oh, I'm friends with you? Great. Fuck that paralysis. Fuck that poison. Fuck that sleep status. Fuck it all. They'll just power right through a status effect. No item required. Not all the time. Not even reliably. But it will happen once in a while. It happens a lot more often with your partner Pokemon, I know that fucking much. And wow, is that overpowered as shit. Just the Pokemon deciding that, I don't want my trainer to worry, I'm healthy! And they'll do shit like shrugging off a one-shot. They'll just leave themselves at 1 health because fuck it. Game doesn't really feel slow or boring. I mean, I've completed the original Kanto games before. I've played a few of the Pokemon games. I don't think the Pokemon games before were very fun because they were always, to me, very, very slow and not super rewarding at all. I didn't find them very good, and I didn't want to play them because the early sections are always a slog. Like, you're putting some work into this motherfucker. It's not a casual endeavor at all. And I get why. I do get why. I just personally don't feel that the Pokemon series main attractions should be hardcore games. They're games you're meant to play with, like, everyone from ages 7 to 59. Like, these are not games designed for hardcore players. I wouldn't say no to a hardcore game around Pokemon. I'm just saying that should maybe be a side option. It's not really, I think, something that you focus on. The game, this time, Let's Go did not feel slow or boring at all. It was very, very fast. In, like, the course of, I think, 4 days of normal play. Like, if I had just sat down, right, and played on my and played on my gamepad, like I would with Monster Hunter or whatever, I would have finished this game in like 4 or 5 days. It doesn't take almost any time at all. And that's fine. It really is. Now, like, granted, I'm not the best player of the Pokemon games. I'm not anywhere near the best. I'm probably low middle tier, like maximum. But I do know more or less what certain Pokemon are super effective against and what certain moves don't work on them, more or less. So this game is really, really fast if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing and you've just entered the series for the first time, God's help you. Like, all of them. Because sometimes you'll run up against, oh, this is a fairy creature. It looks like a normal type. I'll just hit it with a fighting move. The fuck do you mean it didn't work? Oh shit, I'm going to die. Yeah, it's, there's no... I feel like at some point in the game, either I missed it, or there should be somewhere a description of the rock, paper, scissors, go fuck yourself chart that the game revolves around. I would have loved that. I didn't find it. Maybe I was just lax. Who can say? But I feel like new players should definitely take a look at the typing charts before they get into this game. This is not something you want to do without knowing what the fuck's going on. That will ruin your experience with this title in a nanosecond. That said, I never really felt like the game was too easy. I never felt like I was being pandered to, or like the game was specifically just not challenging. I think that mainly the reason it's easier for me is because, again, I've completed these games before. Not completed, mind. I've beaten them. I've played and finished them, not completed them. Watching Gerard Dragon Rider Khalil, the completionist, complete games gave me a very, very different idea of what completing something means. It's way beyond 100%. That is not me. Wow. Whoever does those things, whoever does go for like the 110 plus ultra percent, wow, you are not human, and I respect you for your endurance, but I can't do that. That is not, no. Nope. Anyway, yeah. The game's not hard. It's not easy. It's just kind of middle of the road. It's easy for experienced players, is what I'm trying to get at. I touched on this earlier, but yeah, some Alolan forms of Pokemon can be acquired. One of my favorites was Alolan Vulpix into Ninetales. Oh, that creature was a beast. I don't know if it was because I got it through a trade or because it's just normally this powerful, but wow. Ice Fairy Ninetales? Whoa, that was an adventure. That was one of my favorite Pokemon in the entire game, bar none. That was a fuck yeah. That was a fuck yeah moment when that thing started coming into the battles and being like, and you get a one shot, and you get a one shot, and fuck you specifically. And it was amazing. I loved that very much. Oh yeah, so the game is not focused at all on over designing the graphics. One thing I am super critical of is games focusing too much on their graphics department and then leaving the rest of the game to rot. This is a very stylized, very cartoon style, which some people may be pretty used to. Like, I've got, just in my desk, Omega Ruby and Pokemon X. In these games, the experience was very, very, very stylized. And we kept that tradition going here. I loved it. It was it was beautiful and simple, and some people are like, it's too simple, but this game is for children. I feel like that should be stated more times than I am, but this game is not for experienced players. It's a fun game. Fucking 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It's not perfect. I do feel like it could have been a little bit longer. I feel like there could have been a little bit more post-game content, and that's just my personal experience. 9 out of 10. Damn near perfect. So much fun. Okay, so great game. Fantastic. Totally recommend it. Have fun. Have fun with this game, please. It's not a thing to beat. It's not a thing to conquer. Just have fun. Gerard, the completionist, will probably be pointed at this game eventually, and God bless you, Gerard. I hope you don't try and complete this game. I genuinely hope you don't complete this game. I don't think it'll be worth it at all. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee is not designed for hardcore players. It's not designed to be completed. It's designed to just be experienced. It's a fun, casual romp. I personally suggest it to have fun with. It's a toy. It's not bigger than that at all. Don't expect more out of this game than it has. You're going to have a bad time. And that concludes the review section. So, hey, let's move on to the rage. So, you may have noticed a bit of a costume change. I didn't buy this jacket specifically for the purposes of reviews. I do like this jacket. It's just nice. It's thick, it's heavy, it's good leather. And I love it to death. It's so comfortable. But I do feel that some things require a change of wardrobe. So, here we are talking about Bethesda. Oh wait, it's not Bethesda. This time it's... What is his name? Blandy Pitch Fraud? Fuck it. His name doesn't matter. Yes, I'm stealing that bit from Jim. The Jim Inquisition. Jim, if you're watching this, it's a good bit. I love it very much. If you don't want me using it, that's fine. But please tell me. Sorry if I stole it without permission, but yeah, it's a good bit. So, Blandy Pitch Fraud. Yeah, he shot himself in the face today. Oh, today. That's neither here nor there. Blandy Pitch Fraud, head of Gearbox, decided that he was going to make the PC release of Borderlands 3 an Epic Store exclusive in all but name. After a given 6-month period, it'll be part of the Steam lineup. You know, after or the Epic Store has already made as much money as can possibly be made from this game's original hyped up launch date. After the money has been made, they'll allow us to play the game on the platforms that we prefer. Randy, hi. My name's Scotty, and you're a fuck. Thanks. Yeah, so, not a big fan of Randy. At all. The decision to make Gearbox publish Borderlands 3 almost exclusively on Epic is a mistake. The Epic Store launcher it's really just not a good... It's not a good alternative to Steam. It's not. It's a decent storefront, and it's fixing to be a better storefront. But the thing that makes Steam Steam is the community about it. That's not hard to see. It's basically part of their MO. How are we not seeing this, companies? Origin, Epic, how are you not seeing this? Fuck them. The story I was really excited to bring to you guys today, the story I fucking saved me, did not want to talk about, but when it happened, I was like, oh, well, this is going to be a fun conversation. Is, BioWare magic? Okay. No, this... Again, with the hat thing, I know, but this is a personal bit here. No game is worth the health and well-being of your staff. Other outlets have covered the BioWare situation extensively, and I am not one of them. I am not one of that crowd. I will, however, go so far as to say that BioWare made a big mistake here. All on their own. BioWare deserves your scorn. BioWare deserves your ridicule. BioWare does not deserve threats. Physical, violent threats. They don't deserve that. They deserve to die as a company for the shit they put their people through. They don't deserve threats of guns and knives and stabbies. That's not what they deserve. They deserve to be failed as a company. Because, and I cannot believe I have to say this out loud, forcing your employees to work, whether it's through threats, bribes, whatever it is, forcing your employees to work, no matter your methods, 60 plus hour work weeks, because your incompetent ass couldn't get some direction down, forcing your employees to work so long that they sleep in the office and then are left on administrative stress leave. Forcing your employees to work like that is unfucking conscionable. I will not tolerate that shit. Thanks. Now, Activision and EA Games are infamous for this. Fucking infamous. For these kinds of abusive worker relations. And Konami especially. Fuck Konami. I don't even need... That's just a rule. But this channel has a boycott out against EA Games and against Activision. And, well, I have a boycott against Konami, but they don't make games anymore, so fuck them. Do not purchase Activision or EA titles if you can help it. Please support the boycott if you can. These companies will not treat their people with respect. They will not treat you with respect until they see that there are consequences for their shitty behavior. I know it hurts to miss your favorite games. I do. Fuck, Spyro is my favorite game of all time. I love Spyro. Like Year of the Dragon is my literally favorite game of all time. It's not the best game I've ever played, but it's my favorite. I did not purchase or play any of the Spyro games on the release of the remastered edition. If Spyro can't make me break boycott, no game can. No matter how fun it is. I applaud Respawn Entertainment for making Apex Legends. I love the way they did that game. I am very proud of them. I can't purchase it. Because their publisher is a piece of shit. And until these publishing houses clean up their act, I will not be purchasing any of their titles. In particular, I will not be purchasing any title that abuses its customers or employees. I will admit, for the sake of clarity, that I did purchase The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And I love that game. I really do. I'm sorry that its developers were put through such hell to make it. However, as best as I have been informed, that was an isolated incident. And I found out long after I'd already purchased the game. So, yeah. going forward, this channel will not review and this channel will not play any games from Activision or EA until further notice. I've probably said it before. I'm probably going to say it again. But fuck EA.